Hello and welcome to this KeyShot tutorial where today we're going to take a car from Onshape into KeyShot and show you how you can render it quite simply with just a few features. We can try and keep this video short. We can look at doing some more videos about looking at lighting and the backgrounds afterwards, but for now we're just going to keep this short and just look at how we can apply some textures and some logos to the car. So here in Onshape I've got my car, and what I've done is I've just coloured in some of the faces that I want to be different materials when I come into KeyShot. It's really simple to do. If you don't know how to do it, all you do is you select a face, you right click, and where it says add appearance to a face, you can click on that and we can then add an appearance to it. So we pick a colour there, it goes orange. I'm just going to cancel that because I don't want to apply a face at this point. Now with KeyShot, it has a plugin that works directly with Onshape, so you have the ability to load your images directly, or your CAD files directly from Onshape into KeyShot. Don't worry if you're using a different CAD package. KeyShot is able to accommodate that. You can import as step files, IGIS, and parasolids. So there are many other ways. Some programs will have the option to export as a KeyShot file anyway. So once we open up KeyShot, I'm just going to close that. You go to File and you've got the option there to import, and you can see all the different formats there: Solid Edge, Rhino, Creo, IGIS. There's lots of different options on there, so you have that ability to do that. But for now, I'm going to go straight to Onshape. So I'm going to press Connect to Onshape. I've already loaded Onshape previously, so it will find everything. I can click the car I want to load up. You can see the preview of it there. I want the main part studio. And I'm then just going to press Import. So it will download my car into KeyShot. So in comes my car. You can see the colours that have been applied to it. Now we are just going to keep this simple, just applying some colours and decals. So I'm going to go across to materials, which is on the left hand side here, and I've got lots of different materials there. If you can scroll through everything there. There's some interesting ones in that. There's multicoloured, things like that. You can create some really interesting designs on here, and of course we just need to go undo to get rid of that. Now before I start rendering, I'm going to turn on the GPU. It just speeds things up a bit and will help to improve it, and I'm going to start rendering my model. Now along with the materials that are in here, you do have the option to access the Cloud Library. Cloud Library is a web server where you can download different materials, textures, environments, and they all go into your downloads folder. So I've got my downloaded folder here. So I'm going to start applying some materials to this car. So I'm actually going to start by applying my tyres. So I've already downloaded a tyre appearance, and I'm going to bring that on there. And if I go to the materials and double click on it, you can see the textures are on there, and I can change the scale, and that will change. At the moment it's all in meters, so we'll change the size of the dimples and the things on there. Now when you zoom in, you can see them quite closely. If we zoom out, they will disappear. Now with this, if ever you think, oh, I've gone too far, I've lost where I am, if you just right click, you can do center and fit models, and I just put it back into the center of your page. So I've added my tyres on there, they're slicks. I'm going to sort out my windows next. So I've got some polycarbonate, so I can click on that and I'll just drag it to where I want it. Now one thing I will tell you is that when I was in Onshape, I made sure that I coloured the inside and the outside of the windows, just to ensure they both go transparent and see-through. Okay, I'm going to have a look at, I've got some carbon fibre somewhere I think in here. Fabric, so let's give me my scoop. Now you can see straight away that my carbon fibre looks a bit big. So again, I can go into the textures and I can bring that scale down to a size I want. Let's go for about there and see how that looks on there. I'm just going to spin my car around just on the left. I'm just spinning this on the left mouse at the moment. So I've got my tyres in there. Let's think about my wheels. And for the wheels, I'm going to go to metal. I'm going to go to anodize, and I'm going to pick. I'm going to go for something a bit like the old Subaru. See if we can see. You can see the speed that you can just change until you're happy with something. I mean, there's a blue there, but I'm looking for that gold. Let's try that. So we've got the gold tyres on there. On the front here, I've missed a little bit out there, but I'll still show you the things. So I've got downloads, and I've got a car reflector. So I can drag that across, double click on it, you notice it all changed. I'm going to change the colours, just press OK, change the other one so it's coming up to OK. And the last thing I'm going to do is just on the textures, I'm going to bring the scale down. So eventually you'll get, play that with that scale, something like that. So it will just pop on there. I'm now going to look at some of my colours. So I could go to paints. You've got your hot hues. So if I wanted to put that blue in there, I can just sit and pick about with which colours I like, or I can go down to my normal paints and I could try the light blue. And let's put a blue on the back there. Okay, so there's the basic colouring of the car. If I spin it round, I can do the rear lights. This time I'll use that reflector as it came in as red. If I need to, again, you can play about with the scale until you're happy with it. So then we've got the red one on there. Now this is the clever bit. If I put it onto the second one and double click on it again, this time I can change the colours. I'll change the scale down. Now if I'd been sensible, I'd looked at what my scale was before. Something similar to that. So I can put them on there. Now when we play about with the lighting on this, you'll be able to make them stand out more brighter. So the gold wheels, I'm not sold on, if I'm honest. Let's go for something a little bit darker. Or let's have a look at gold itself. So we can go down to precious, gold, basic. So we can put our colours on there. Now, that's great. But where KeyShot comes alive is when we actually add our livery to the cars. So I'm just going to go back to paint. And I'm going to pick a white. I'll go for a white gloss paint. And I'm going to put that on there. Now, when I go to labels, which is over here, I can press the add and I can add a label. And this is where we can put in whatever labels we want. So let's put the KeyShot logo on there. So it comes on, and I've got my KeyShot logo on there. I can drag it. I can use the thing, I can spin it around, place it on different sides. It's helpful to turn on translates as well, because then that allows you to start positioning things where you actually want them. So I'm just going to try it and get that into that position, so I can look at where things are positioned, and I'll bring it down, and I can put my KeyShot logo on there. Okay, so I've got my KeyShot. I can then go and put racing numbers, the Scalextric4Schools logo, etc. All we've got to do is just go through our logos. So there's my Scalextric4Schools one. It comes on. I just scroll down to move texture, and I then have the ability to move that. Let's try and get the right way up. Scroll it down. Now you'll notice at the moment that blue for the Scalextric is like going across both sides, and we get the opposite side on there. To fix that, where it says depth, again we're in meters, so I'm going to put in 0.0. Oops. That 0.01, and you can see how far that goes in. So it's just going in so far. If I wanted to put another 0.0 in there, you can see it's now too short because of the curved surface. So let's up it to 5, and then I can shrink that down and use the arrows to just position it where we want. Press the tick. We've now got our Scalextric4Schools on there. If I had a, let's just for example go on to Google, just do race car decals, images. Let's say I wanted to put on some flames or some stripes or something. I'll just race car. Let's just find some stripes. Just find something that's the right colour. Okay. We'll go for these ones. I'm just going to right click, save image. I'll just put that into my downloads. And then in KeyShot, again I can press plus, label. I'll go to my downloads, and the textures appear on there. And again, if you want to move it, we can then start looking at how that looks on there. Now, because of the size of it, you'll notice it has started to pull out the other ones. We can sort that out in a minute. So let's say I want to put that on there. Oops. View what I'm doing here. There we go. Let's get it on the actual car now. So how it's come in, I need to fasten it that way. So all I'm trying to do now is work out the best angle for that to go onto the car. I'm trying to get that long ways along the other side of the car there. Let's go with it there. So now what you'll notice though is I've lost my logos. So back in the tree here, what I can do is I can take them and I can move them back up. So now my KeyShot logo is in front of the other one there. And you've got the idea of that racing stripe running through and running down it. If you don't like it, you can just get rid of it. and you're back to what you've got. So racing numbers and everything can be put on there. And then what we do at the bottom here, to get your render, you click render. You can muck about with your options, so you can say you want it to a 5-minute render, an hour render, etc, etc. We can do animation, so we could have the thing rendering as it spins round. I'm not going to go into them now, but you have got things like back plates and things, so you can put your car into different locations and see how it looks in them. And then of course these have all got their own different lighting images. I just need to move that, so I'm going to go to camera. Instead of tumble, I'm going to take it onto pan, and I can just position it. So up into camera here, we can control how we look at our car, so we can see how it looks in a different location. What I will just do with this material, I'm just going to move myself out of the way, the environment there. What is helpful is to flatten the ground. So you know your car's then placed on the ground. You can put on reflections, so we can see that come onto there. And we can scroll it backwards and forwards, move it around until we're happy with what we've got. Now that's it for this quick tutorial. I've tried to keep it quick and simple, hopefully, just showing you how you can do some basics. But one thing I will say is at this level, just for adding colours and things to the cars, it's quite intuitive. Pupils should be able to do the basics quite quickly, and you can just go through and change whatever you want to do as quickly as that. So if I wanted something that was a bit like the Golf colours, I can quickly put it on there. And if I'm not happy with it, I can just go undo, and it comes back. Thanks for watching. Hope it was helpful.